Have you heard about these newer credit cards that pay 6% cash back? How exactly do these cards work? Let's discuss the pros and cons of these credit cards that pay 6% cash back. Hello everyone, this is Lewis with HeroBanker.com, and we're your friendly neighborhood bankers. Today we'll be discussing the best credit cards that pay 6% cash back. You may have heard about credit cards that pay 5% because those cards have been around for a while. But these cards that pay 6% are a bit newer. These cards can be great, especially when you focus on the elevated payouts. But they do tend to come with some limits that we want to make sure that you're aware of, because these are things that you will probably want to factor into your decision when choosing which card is best for you. Okay, so two things that we want to mention about cards which pay cash back of 6%. Number one, the 6% payout is only going to be in certain categories. For example, 6% cash back on groceries, streaming services, or retail. So, before opening one of these credit cards, you'll want to ensure that it offers high payouts in categories where you actually spend money. For example, a card that pays 6% cash back at gas stations sounds like a nice payout. But if you only use public transportation, then that card probably isn't best for you. Matching the elevated payouts with your spending patterns is very important if you want to maximize the cash back that you can earn. The second thing we want to mention about these cards is this. The 6% category will generally include a limit or cap on the amount of cash back earned. For example, you might earn 6% cash back on groceries, but only on the first $6,000 in purchases each year. The limits vary by card, and for some people, these limits may work just fine, but for others, they may be too low. As usual, you'll have to figure out what's best for you, and what's best for you may not be what's best for someone else. Alright, now let's get into the best credit cards that pay 6% cash back. First up is the American Express Blue Cash Preferred. If you've watched our video about the best credit cards for groceries, then you might recall that this card pays a whopping 6% cash back at grocery stores on up to $6,000 in purchases per year. But it also pays 6% on select US streaming subscriptions, such as Netflix and Disney Plus. So, if you shop for groceries and use streaming services, then this card is a winner. Now, on top of paying 6% in two categories, the American Express Blue Cash Preferred also pays 3% cash back at US gas stations. It also pays 3% cash back on transit purchases, which, according to American Express, includes trains, taxis, rideshare services, ferries, tolls, parking, buses, and subways. This card pays 1% cash back on all other purchases. Both the 3% and the 1% categories are unlimited. So, once you've earned all that cash back, how do you cash in? Well, on this card, the cash back is received in the form of rewards dollars, which can then be redeemed as a statement credit. Okay, now let's get into some of the other details on the American Express Blue Cash Preferred. This card also includes a nice bonus offer. This bonus offer pays $300 cash back after you spend $3,000 within the first 6 months. So, $3,000 is a bit on the high end, but American Express does give you a nice 6-month time frame. Blue Cash Preferred also includes 0% APR for 12 months on both purchases and balance transfers. Okay, last but most definitely not least, Blue Cash Preferred does not have an annual fee for the first year. But after the first year, it does have an annual fee of $95. Now, if you don't like paying an annual fee for a credit card, that is totally understandable. But please, don't tune out on this card just yet. Because although no one really likes to pay an annual fee, oftentimes paying the annual fee is actually a great investment. Here's a quick breakdown. Remember, on this card, the annual fee is $95. Now, if you spend $1,600 in the 6% category, then you will earn about $96 in cash back. So, every dollar that you spend above $1,600 in the 6% category is your profit after paying the annual fee. And to break it down even further, $1,600 per year is only $133 per month. So, ask yourself this: do you spend more than $133 per month on groceries and streaming services combined? If so, then this card is for you. We hope that was a good example of why paying an annual fee can be a good investment. Of course, everyone's individual situation is different, so you'll have to figure out when it might make sense for you to pay an annual fee. But again, we recommend not letting an annual fee keep you away from a good credit card. Because if that card fits your spending patterns and you're able to maximize the cash back, then paying the fee will be worth it. Another nice perk with the American Express Blue Cash Preferred is that it comes with an $84 annual credit for any Disney streaming service. This includes Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. So, if you subscribe to these services, this is yet another way to help offset the annual fee. The American Express Blue Cash Preferred is truly one of the best cashback credit cards on the market. For a $95 annual fee, it really adds a lot of value. Therefore, this is a card that we highly recommend, especially if your spending includes grocery stores, streaming services, gas stations, or transit. The second card that we'll discuss today is the US Bank Shopper Rewards card. This card pays 6% cash back at 2 major retailers of your choice on up to $1,500 per quarter. Now, the retail category is preset, but you do get to pick the 2 companies where you'll be earning the 6%. So this card does offer some flexibility, which is a nice benefit. The retail options that you can choose include Amazon, Walmart, Target, Apple, Disney, and others. So if you spend often at major retailers, then this card might be for you. US Bank Shopper Rewards also pays 3% cash back on your choice of 1 everyday category. This includes options such as wholesale clubs, gas stations, utilities, and more. The 3% category also has a cap of $1,500 in purchases per quarter. On this card, you will have to log in and make the selections for both your 6% and 3% payouts. This will have to be done every 3 months. Now, if you think that you might forget to make your selections, US Bank does offer to send you a reminder when it's time to do so. It is important to note that if you do not choose your categories, then you will not earn 6% or 3% cash back. Instead, you will earn 1.5% cash back on every purchase. This brings us to the next great thing about the US Bank Shopper Rewards card. This card actually pays 1.5% cash back on all other purchases, which is a pretty high floor. Because if you've researched other cards or watched our other videos, then you probably know that most cards pay a flat 1% on all other purchases. So again, this card offering 1.5% on everything else is yet another nice benefit. Okay, now let's get into the other details on the US Bank Shopper Rewards card. This card includes a bonus offer that pays $250 after you spend $2,000 in the first 120 days. On this card, the cashback can be redeemed as a statement credit, rewards card, gift card, or a direct deposit to a US Bank account. Finally, this card does not have an annual fee for the first year. But after that, the annual fee is $95 per year. As we reviewed with the prior card, a $95 annual fee only requires you to spend $1,600 per year, or $133 per month in the 6% category. This will offset the annual fee and ensure that you're making a profit with this credit card. So once again, we suggest doing the math to make sure that you spend enough in the 6% and the 3% categories to make this card worth it for you. US Bank Shopper Rewards is one of the newer credit cards on the market. For a $95 annual fee, it can definitely add great value. So this is a card that we recommend, especially if you spend often at popular retailers and on any of the 3% categories. Alright, so that wraps up our review of the best credit cards that pay 6% cashback. We hope the information was helpful and easy to understand. Let us know what you think about the credit cards that we've chosen. Do you currently use one of these cards? If so, how do you like it? Do you disagree with any of these choices? Or did we leave out your favorite credit card? Let us know in the comments below. We welcome and encourage the feedback. For more information on anything that we've covered today, check out herobanker.com, where we have an article discussing the best credit cards that pay 6% cashback. The link can be found in the video description below. Thank you again for taking time out of your day so that we can help you become your own financial hero. We hope to see you again soon. If you'd like to see more content like this, we would greatly appreciate a like and subscribe. Thank you.